Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm a virtual avatar in Developers Short. I hope you're all doing well and ready to learn. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to invite you to become a member of the Great Devs. As a member of the Developers Short community, you'll have access to our job opportunities, activities, and future webinars. You can join us by responding to our invitation email or completing the form on our website. Also, a recording of this webinar will be on our LinkedIn page. Without further ado, let's dive into today's topic. Please give a warm welcome to our speaker.
Okay, nice. I'm happy to be here today talking about Firebase and Genkit. So let's introduce myself a little bit, just a few words. So I'm Giorgio Boa. I'm a senior software engineer at Egen, an American company. We are doing AI basically with Google. I'm open source developer. I'm following many different projects, mainly on the front end side. I'm a core team member of Quick. It's a new framework, front-end framework. I'm the author of the Module Federation Vite. It's the way to do micro front-ends with Vite. And recently I joined TypoRAM library. It's our RAM based on TypeScript, and it's supporting a lot of different drivers like Postgres, MongoDB, you name it. I'm also a Microsoft MVP, but let's jump to the topic of this talk. Let's talk about Firebase. So Firebase, basically, it's a set of services based on Google infrastructure. So every service that we are looking at, like authentication or storage, many other services are based on the Google infrastructure. So under the hood, we are using GCP services. But this is not really important for us as a consumer. The most important fact is why we need Firebase. So we need it for develop really fast, in a really fast way. These services are covering a lot of common use cases like authentication, cloud function, monitoring the application, and many other things. These are the common things that you usually have in an application. So you can leverage this service to develop your idea and hit the production really fast to have a short time to market. It's based on fact that is on Google infrastructure, so we don't need to care about the machines. It's scalable by default. So if we are using the service, Google is trying to achieve and get more reliability for us, is going to increase the number of instances for us. On the other hand, when nobody is using it, the scale will be zero. So we have no cost at all. It's cross-platform compatibility because we can use the library with Android, iOS, Flutter, the web, of course, and Unity for gaming. So we can use all in all this platform. We can use Firebase, and we have a similar API in all of this platform. And we have, as mentioned, reduced maintenance because the bare bone is on top of Google infrastructure. So we need to care only about configuring it well, and Google will provide us the rest. So with Firebase, we can develop up faster, run with confidence, and engage the users. Under these three topics, there are a lot of services. So we have the authentication, we have the hosting, cloud function. We can have the possibility to storage our assets with the cloud storage. Talking about run with confidence, we have Crashlytics, With this one, we can collect all the errors we have in our machine and in our application, performance monitoring, and to engage the user, we can send notification, and we can, with remote config, we can change the configuration on the fly. So our client will be notified under the hood with a new configuration. We will see later in a slide how it works. Okay, let's start with I would like to show you the services that I'm using the most to give you a little bit of insights. And then, as mentioned in the title, we will talk about AI with Firebase. So Firebase authentication is giving us the possibility to have a complete authentication out of the box without worrying too much about security, how to save data of our user, how to send emails, reset password, and also if forgot password. All these kind of mechanisms are managed under the hood by the library. We need to include the library, of course, in our application, and then using it, configuring it in the Firebase console. In the Firebase console, we have a lot of possibilities. So we can use the simple email password, but we can use the telephone for the authentication. We have additional providers like Google, Facebook, GitHub, and many others. So imagine you are creating your custom authentication rather than using the Firebase one. Suddenly, your project manager asks you to create the authentication with Google. You have to study the Google API, learn how to implement the authentication with Google, test end-to-end all the process, and maybe you need to test again the normal process to figure out if there are any kind of regressions. So with this kind of service, as mentioned in the first slide, we can have a fast way to implement a common use case. It's the authentication. So every application mainly have an authentication. So we can cover that aspect, that feature with Firebase authentication, and out of the box we have a lot of great things. We can mention also about the email. So maybe you have a domain, own domain, and your email can be marked as spam. So you are sending email to the user, but they can't see it because there are problems with spams. So there are a lot of things that are covered by this service, and we can focus on business logic rather than struggling with these kind of things. Let's moving on with the real-time database. So this is a small video I grabbed from application I created. The idea here is to create a shared board. As you can see, there is my pointer, and there is the pointer of another developer. We are sharing the same view, the same page, everyone with his own device, and as you can see, we are collaborating on the same page, basically. These kind of things are really easy with a real-time database. We can do the application that we are normally doing with the database. With the real-time database, we can achieve this kind of extra thing really easily. Real-time database is a NoSQL database, and we are reading and writing directly from the client. So we are reading and writing from the client. In fact, with a normal backend application, we are hitting an endpoint, and under the hood, the server is trying to figure out if you can read or write a specific part of the database. With a NoSQL, or I mean with writing directly from the client, we need to define a set of rules. In the cloud console, Firebase console, we can define a set of rules. It's a JSON file, as you can see, and we have read and write. This is the initial configuration, but I would like to show you a little bit in the detail what we can do. Here we have a database security rule based on the user document. So we have a set of users, and we have the wildcard here for the user ID. So the idea of this configuration is everyone can see, even they need to be authenticated, and they can read the information of every user, but only the authenticated user with the same ID can write the information. So I can write information in my personal user, and the other can only read from it. This is the simple way to configure the database. We can going on a little bit more. Here we are reading the token. So when we log in our application, we have a token back. In this token, we can store a lot of different things. And in this case, I'm storing the information if I'm admin or not. So if I'm admin, I can write and read into the admin reports. Otherwise, no. There are a lot of different possibilities in configuring the security rules. I would like to cover a lot of things in these 30 minutes. So I move to Cloud Function. So Cloud Function for Firebase, it's another way to write our backend, our logic. The idea is to write a small part of the logic rather than a normal server where you are writing a lot of different things. So Cloud Function usually are fast. The code instead of a function need to be fast, and the good part of function is that is serverless. So there is a server, it's in the Google infrastructure, but for us it's we are agnostic about the fact that there is a server under the hood. We are writing our piece of logic, and then we can deploy it in the Google infrastructure. The automatic scaling is something really, really great. So only if we are hitting a specific endpoint, we are running this function. Otherwise, there are no instances alive for this. This helps us to improve our costs. It's a trusted environment because we are under the umbrella, let me say, of Google infrastructure. So everything is managed by them. We can write a function with JavaScript, TypeScript, and Python at the moment. I think TypeScript, Python are a good way to write this kind of function. JavaScript, it's a little bit tricky to figure out things without typing, but that's okay. If you would like to write JavaScript, please try TypeScript, because I think with the types it's better. Firebase remote config. So with this Firebase remote config was under the engage user part, because we have the possibility to roll out configuration on the fly. So as you can see, we can create a configuration for our application, and we can define new configuration, for example, version 2 or of our config, and we can decide, please roll out this configuration for the country Italy, or with the language English, or we can target with Android, iOS. So we can specify a little bit of the configuration to roll out new config to our client, and the client under the hood is reading this new configuration, and it's changing the application because of that. Cloud storage for Firebase, as mentioned earlier, this helps us to store our assets, so we can read, write, we can basically do a CRUD operation on our cloud storage. Under the hood, if you are curious, it's a bucket, GCP bucket. The configuration from the developer, it's quite simple. We need to specify the bucket and few other the name of the bucket, few other configs, but it's pretty easy to read and write things on cloud storage. And Firebase Cloud Messaging, this is really powerful, and if they didn't change recently the pricing, it's free, so you can send messages to your clients. So you can force a notification on Android, iOS, web, and the other platform, so you can reach and engage your user more and more. A few years ago was a little bit difficult to send notification, because you had to deal with stores, certification, and such. With Firebase Cloud Messaging, it's really simple. You can configure your client with the library, and you must then send the messages from the console, or you can implement your own, for example, Node.js logic, Node.js server, to send a notification to your client, and immediately they will receive this notification. The notification itself can be normal standard notification, or can have also call to action. So you can click on the notification, and then you can open your application and move things out. Let's talk about AI. Gemini is the model, the Google model for AI, and Vertex AI is the tool, the set of tool. Specifically in Firebase, we have Genkit. Genkit is a set of APIs that allows us to trigger and call API and different models. So to set up a model, you need to install Genkit AI. In this example, I installed the Google AI models. So you can see I'm instantiating Genkit with the plugin Google AI and with the model Gemini 2.0 Flash. This is the simple instantiation of a model with Genkit. Then we can call the prompt. In this case, it's a multimodal prompt. So I remove the import. This is only the business logic, let me say. So I'm reading an image to grab the base 64. Then I'm creating a data URL, and then with the AI.generate, I'm using two prompts. The first one is passing the media, so the base 64 we read before, and then I'm using another prompt with a simple text: which food is it? So let's try to look at this Genkit with a demo. I prepared a few examples to show you how powerful is Genkit. Okay, so this is a Node.js application. We have a package JSON, and inside of the dependency, we have Genkit Google AI. We saw it before. We have Genkit, Genkit CLI. We will see later this one, and OpenAI and Anthropic, because we can use also many different models, not only Google models, but also other different ones. So let's start with the example number one. It's really simple. As you can see here, we are instantiating Genkit with the plugin Google AI, like in the slide, Gemini 2.0. We are simply asking for how many areas does Germany have. So let me call the example number one. And so here we can read Gemini is divided into 16 states called Lander, I think. Sorry if I misspell the word. As you can see, here I mentioned areas. So the AI is smart enough to say, no, we are talking about the states, and also is giving a hint for the right name. This is pretty simple because we are receiving the response. So we are printing the text out. This is the simple way to call the AI, like more or less the one that we are using for GPT or OpenAI and other or DeepSeek, the other chat we have. We can print also the output, so the response itself. Let me do it really quickly. Okay. Yes, so here we can say the total token we are using, because under the hood you need to have in this case we are using Google AI, so you need to have Google AI API key, and you are using tokens every time you are calling the AI. You are using token. You can read the response and try to monitoring how many tokens you are using. We will see later that Genkit will give us also the possibility to monitoring the token, the latency, and the codes with a cool dashboard. The example number two is just to show you that we can use OpenAI. So inside of plugin, we can use Google AI with another plugin, OpenAI. Number three, it's more or less what we saw inside of the slide. So we are reading this food one PNG. And which food is it? Can you tell me the ingredients? So let me start the example number three. Okay, nice. So here we have the answer. So the food appears to be corn dogs, and here are the ingredients: hot dogs, cornmeal, butter, oil, ketchup, many other things. So here we have the data, and this is the picture I used. So seems correct. Let me use the number two, the food number two. And is doing the same. Food, ramen, noodles, sliced pork, egg, and many other ingredients. So this is the photo. This is the photo. As you can see, the output is a little bit different from the previous one. If I run it again, let me say, it's different again. So here we have ingredients like this. in one line, and here we have many lines. So it's quite hard if we are implementing a system to read the output of this AI. And if we would like to read in this way the output, we have to parse all the different things. Good news is that we can define a schema of the output. So here we are doing the same with the fridge PNG image. We are reading the base 64, we are passing the data, and we are asking what's inside of this in general question. We will see the output. It's a recipe schema with the foods. It's an array of foods with name and brand. Let's run this example, because you will see that the output now with the schema, it's well structured. Best practice around prompting is saying that you must specify the output with a schema to avoid hallucinations and many other things. So we can see there is soda water. We have also beer, and this one is arrabbiata. The brand is Barilla. If we are opening the fridge image, you can see, yeah, it's a little bit messy, but it's able to read here in this part of the image, and is reading also this one, Devondale scheme. So let me, here there is a scheme. So if we are looking at the terminal, somewhere we will see, yeah, skim milk. So it's really powerful. I mean, AI is trained on a lot of information, a lot of data, and are basically structured to do this kind of job. Yeah, so we can move to another example. This is showing how to create a flow, a set of steps for our AI process. So let me clear the terminal, and let's start from food to fun fact flow. This is the flow defined with Genkit. So we can use the API define flow to define a set of steps. So we can use in each step many different models. We can call external API to grab information from database or public API. So the first we are calling guess country. From we are grabbing in the input. It's a simple string. We are calling guess country with this input. With the country, now we are calling the fun factor generator function with this country, and we are returning the output. These two, guess country and fun factor generator, are two flows. Here we are, for example, guess the country based on this food. So we are receiving the input, the food, and we are extracting the country. With the country now is the input of this other flow, and we are telling a fun fact about this country. So in the end, we are doing food to fun fact flow. Let me run the script. The script that we are running now, it's based on Genkit. So we are calling Genkit start with the example. So example number 5. Here is different because we have out of the box, we have, let me zoom a bit. We have a dashboard with a lot of information. We can try models, define data set, but the most important fact that I would like to show you is the flow. Here we have our 3 flows, guess country. So we can start with pizza. We run it, and we have the output is Italy. So I I pressed on, let me show you again, because I was too fast. So pizza, I clicked on view trace. With the view trace, we have all the step that is doing under the hood. So the input is a pizza and the output is Italy. So if we are fun fact generator, it's the second flow. If we define Italy and we run it, we have okay, Italian invented the gelato, nice, and we can see the same. So we have the input and the output, the duration of our call, start time, etc., etc. A lot of different information. But the most important one is this one. So we can start from Peruna. Peruna is potato in Finnish, so we can run it. And the output of the flow is the fun fact. So Finland is known as the land of 1,000 lakes, but it actually has closer to 188,000 lakes. That's pretty impressive. So the input was Peruna and the output was the fun fact. We can click on the step inside. So from Peruna it's Finland, and then from Finland it's fun fact. We can play with it for many hours, but unfortunately we need to going on with the example. Let me grab the example for the final part of the code. So here number 6, example number 6. So here I'm doing really difficult things if you need to implement it by your own. So what I'm doing a recommendation system. So based on personal info, location, age, gender, interest, previous order, I'm trying to recommend new things. So I created this data set. It's a data set, a small data set of information about, for example, of my e-commerce. And we can read the first line. First line is user ID, age, gender, location, product ID. We have shipping, marketing channel, few things about my e-commerce. So now we are defining a system. A system prompt is a way to shape your model to give more extra information about the activity that the AI need to do. So you are an e-commerce personal assistant, and this is really important. You need to say to the AI the role, and these are the data you collect, and I pass the data set. This data set, I read the data set directly at the line 7, and here is the prompt. So here is my info, personal info. It's location Paris, age 65. Can you suggest me at least 5 products to buy? Thanks. And the output schema, it's a set of product with the product ID, the name, and I would like to know the reason why the AI would like to suggest me a specific product. So let's run this one and let's see. So here is taking a little bit more, not that much. Anti-aging cream, maybe based on the age, is thinking that I need anti-aging cream, probably with the product ID. This is really useful if I need to show a recommendation banner with all the product for in my client. Air mask, smartwatch, organic coffee bean, and makeup. Let's try to tune a little bit the personal info. So female is good. Let's say Berlin. Interest TV series. Previous order. Let's say only these two. Only these two. Let's see. So let me clear the here. Let's see if it's changing something. Okay, so the output is different with the same schema, and this is great. This is suggesting things for popularity. Okay, skincare. Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit younger for this kind of things, but well, it's 10 line of code. Obviously, the AI is giving you suggestion. AI can have hallucinations. You need to find the right prompt to get the right result. But this is, I think, a good starting point if you are thinking about years ago for creating this kind of things in a relational database. You have to grab all the information of the order of your user and join with the table of the user itself with the information about aging and stuff. Also, maybe join the amount of the orders. So was in the past was really difficult to have this kind of output. With AI right now, it's really simple. As mentioned, you need to spend a little bit of time on it to find the right prompt, the right data set, because here the data set is really small. Maybe a bigger one can give you better result. The right model itself, here I'm using Gemini 2.0 with the new 2.5, maybe result will be different. So or maybe with Olama and many other model, the result will be different too. So you need to find a little bit the right configuration. Let me jump to the slide. Okay, here we go. Monitoring. We talked a little bit about tokens previously. You can enable Firebase telemetry with this call, enable Firebase telemetry. You can deploy your Genkit flow on and Genkit code on every Node.js, in my case, platform. You can use a Cloud Function or a Cloud Run as well. But you can use this enable Firebase telemetry to get this kind of results. So you can see a little bit the flow and the latency, how many requests, the input, the output, the tokens, if there were some errors, whatever. So it's a useful way to monitor your flow and your AI logic, because in the end you are deploying the logic, but you need to verify that everything is working correctly in production, of course. So my last quote is work smarter, achieve more. AI is your LA, embrace it now. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy the talk and have a nice rest of the day.
Our webinar has come to an end. I'd like to extend a big thank you to everyone for participating, and a special thank you to the speaker for a captivating topic. It was a pleasure having you all here today. Have a great rest of your day.